Hey, welcome. It's Thursday, 1 o'clock.
Oh,
It's opposite Saxes. You could not have forgotten.
I was
It's
distracted.
part of your routine.
I know routines. Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
routines from last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You think?
you'll have to remind me. Make it my routine again.
It's your routine. You're supposed to know.
Well, we're glad to have you back with us again. You know, we're always glad to have our audience
Yeah.
with us because we try to think of things that are interesting for us to discuss, but that are also interesting for you to listen and maybe relate to. Also, one of the things that you might be able to relate to is one of our sponsors, and that's
Irving Chung.
Irving Chung, who is a franchise specialist. You know, I know that at some point in your life, almost every one of you that are watching or listening has visited a franchise. Maybe you've even thought about, gee, it might be nice to own a franchise. Maybe if it's a fast food franchise, you might say, I don't know. Irving works with nearly 3,000 franchises, some of them full-time, some of them part-time, some of them very part-time. For very little investment, you can get into a franchise and you can be your own boss on a full-time or a part-time basis. The important thing is get in touch with him and ask him questions. It's free to have a consultation with our good friend Irving Chung. He is a nice guy. He not only works with franchises and helps people open franchises, but he is a franchisee himself. He has the Cycle Bar here in the DFW area.
Yeah, I spoke with him over the holidays. You were there too. He's such a knowledgeable fellow and easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Just great.
And he is very athletic in spinning, because not only because he has the Cycle Bar franchise, but he believes in the process. And he opened up the Cycle Bar franchise because he didn't want to have to start from square one and build everything up himself. He went to the franchise and they had the whole plan already pre-researched. That's what he can do for you. So reach out to him, even if it's just a speculation. You have no idea whether you even want to do it. At least get some answers and you'll be a little more knowledgeable about it.
Right.
So we were talking with a good friend about a week ago. Yeah. And who was taking some medication.
Ah, yes.
And we kind of got on the idea that she was taking a medication that we had heard was maybe a little bit too strong for what she should be taking. But she said she had to start taking that medication because the medications she was taking earlier for pain just weren't doing the job anymore.
Right.
And the word addiction came up, and we started thinking about that and talking about it. And considering that there has been a lot of talk over the last decade or so about the opioid addiction in America, that a lot of people are probably taking far more medication than maybe they really need to, for a variety of reasons. People take medications for diet control, weight control, for gaining weight or losing weight, for aches and pains, for all kinds of things. I mean, you have been taking medications for migraine headaches for many, many years. But sometimes people get carried away with it, and what they initially want just to help with whatever the malady is that they're dealing with, it goes beyond that, and it becomes an addiction, and they get too tied down to the medication.
Well, number one, I think a lot of people start mixing their medications. If one doctor tells them they need a medication, they don't talk to that particular doctor and say, okay, but these are the other medications I'm taking, because putting all of these medications together is very scary and is not always in your best interest. So make sure you're honest with all of your doctors. Let them all know all the meds that you're on, and become a friend of the pharmacists.
Yeah, a pharmacist
Wherever
could
you
be
get your medication.
Because, I mean, let's face it, if you go to a cardiologist, they may put you on a medication to regulate the heartbeat. You go to urologist, the urologist puts you on something for urinary control. You go to your general doctor for aches and pains or for the flu, and they give you medication for something. You don't know right off the bat, unless you are a pharmacist yourself, if the medication that the doctor just prescribed for me today, is it going to affect another medication? And you mentioned a pharmacist. A pharmacist can be your best friend. We have a very good friend here in the area, Dr. Deepa Patani, who, she has, right from the get-go, when we met her, she wanted a list of all the medications that we were taking. Lauren takes a lot more medications than I do.
Well, not a lot, but
well,
few.
yeah.
No, a few.
And it was a matter of, if I take this headache, if I take this medication, maybe because I'm a little hyperactive, then I take a different medication for depression. She knew right away. Number one, the one thing that she said, I mentioned to her, well, what about taking like a multivitamin? What was it? Centrum Silver.
Well,
I said, I take a Centrum Silver and everything. She says, it's garbage. And her justification was that taking a multiple vitamin sometimes is just, you're just taking what your body normally takes in from the natural foods that you eat each day. There may be a reason why you need to have more vitamin E or vitamin D or vitamin C or whatever in your system. That's one thing. But she started looking at some of the medications that we were both taking. And in some cases, she said, this medication A is fighting medication B. And if you really need to take both of them, maybe what you need to do is, instead of taking both of them in the morning, take one in the morning and one in the evening, so they're not counteracting each other.
First, let me just say that some people do rely on multivitamins.
Yeah.
And for some people, they may love Centrum and it may be the best thing in the world for them. And that's fine. But, there's a lot of opinions out there. A lot of doctors have a lot of differing opinions.
Well, yeah.
Our particular pharmacist didn't feel that we should be taking vitamins.
Well, and I think it's fair to say that vitamins is not really a medication.
Correct.
It's like a supplement.
Yes.
It's just like people that drink herb tea.
Right. So everybody's going to be different. That's number one.
Talk to your doctor.
Talk to your doctors, your pharmacists. And if you think that, I might be becoming addicted, seek out a pain management doctor.
Which we never heard of 20 years ago or so, really.
Even maybe 10 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But I am acquainted with a couple of pain management doctors, and it's worth checking one out. Maybe you can get the name of somebody through a friend that's going to one. Google pain management in your area, see what they come up with. And
you really want to get those answers before you become addicted,
before you start taking
to something, because it's a lot harder to come off of a medication than it is to go on it.
Right. But there are other addictions other than medications and pain.
Yeah, I guess there are other addictions. Like what?
Love.
Oh.
A love addiction.
Are you addicted to love?
I am. Just because of you.
Yeah.
There's love addictions and one of our favorites.
Food.
Yeah. Yeah. Food.
Yeah. What are you addicted to? What kind of food is your addiction?
Well, I do like my occasional Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola.
Why Mexican Coca-Cola, he asked.
Because there's no corn syrup in the Mexican Coke.
Ooh.
There might be a little bit more sugar, but
it's pure cane sugar.
But it's pure cane sugar. So I do like that occasionally, and I do like my peanut butter occasionally.
Yeah, like peanut butter.
I do. Sorry.
And am I letting the cat out of the bag when I say that sometimes you don't necessarily take the peanut butter out of the jar with a spoon?
No, I
Sometimes,
never take it out with a spoon.
just the knife, put it on the bread.
Yeah,
In fact, we even
good.
used the peanut butter to give the dog
For
pills.
pills. Yeah. What are you addicted to?
Well, I guess I would have to say chocolate and
Dark
all
chocolate,
dark chocolate. I prefer dark
which is
chocolate
good
more
for
than
you,
milk chocolate.
actually, but
And then I love almonds. So put the two together.
Yep.
It's like my Reese's peanut butter cup or so, which people like chocolate with their peanut butter. I like chocolate with my almonds. So boy, chocolate covered almonds and anything with cinnamon.
yep, you like your cinnamon.
Anything, put cinnamon in it, put cinnamon on it, put cinnamon around it, and I'll eat it. Or
Some
sprinkle it on it.
people are addicted to the phone.
You could be addicted to the phone. Sure.
Yeah, I
Sure.
used to be, not so much anymore.
The phone, or today, and especially today's generation, they're addicted to the texting aspect of phone, not
iPads.
necessarily the hello,
Yeah,
how
right,
are you?
no.
How have you been? I miss you.
Yeah, texting, social media. That's an addiction, I think.
And if you ask
think.
the younger generation or so, why do you spend so much time on the phone? Are you addicted to it? "Oh, I'm not addicted to it. I could put it down anytime. Right. I mean,
Well,
sometimes what some people would call just a habit, a good habit or a bad habit, is an addiction in disguise that you don't realize that you are.
do you realize how much you're on your phone? Say sometimes when we're at a restaurant. And I have learned to put my phone away. You are
For the most part. Yeah.
texting,
You probably do more texting than I do.
then why are you on your phone?
My
at night
phone,
sometimes.
because I play games.
Oh, yeah, but you're not
I
playing
love to
games
play.
at dinner or when we're out at a restaurant. You're not.
No,
playing
no,
it.
that I don't. But I can be sitting and watching a movie in the evening.
Yes.
And doing a jigsaw puzzle.
Right.
Or playing solitaire.
Right. Yeah, that you do.
Or I have six different games of solitaire that I play religiously every day.
No,
So
I
you
know.
know what? I guess I'm addicted
But
to
that's
it.
good. But that's good. That's a brain game, and
Yeah,
those are all
and
brain
you
games.
do brain games too.
Yeah, I can't say I'm addicted to them.
no.
I'm not addicted to them.
No, I mean, some people are addicted to exercise.
There are some people, yeah,
I
a
mean-
lot of people. Your sister.
My sister, will not go more than maybe 2 or 3 days without running.
Well, if she's not running, she's hiking.
Well, she'll do it,
walking.
and the only time she will not be is if she does get a minor injury or a sprain
Right.
or
Right.
a pull or
Right.
something like that. But she's hard to live with if she goes 3-4 days without running. So running is an addiction for her because it's also weight control.
Mhm.
For her, there are people that it started with the Fitbit watches.
Mhm.
They were told walk 10,000 steps in a day.
Yep.
And some people are so addicted to that watch that they could be out there 10 minutes before midnight, walking
their
those
steps.
last 1,000 steps in order to get that
That's true.
10,000 in for the
That's
day.
true. That's true.
And that's not necessarily a bad addiction. We don't
No.
want anybody to think that this show is all about addictions as being bad. There are addictions that are good. People that they're addicted to books. They
need to
cannot
read.
go a day without
Right.
reading a few chapters of a book or even
Right.
a whole book in a week.
Games,
Some
books.
people are addicted to bowling, or they're on a league. It's an
Mhm.
addiction. They've got to do it. My father was kind of addicted to golf.
Yeah.
He would do it on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
mine too. Mine too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is also the addiction to liquor and alcohol.
Yeah.
Um,
And other drugs
yeah,
too, recreational drugs,
yeah.
and a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I do drink. I drink a little bit every day, but I'm not addicted to it.
Our very dear relatives addicted to music. Chris is in a band.
Mhm. Yep.
So he's always either practicing or
Hey,
playing at a gig.
I
You
w-
were,
I was for 5
You were,
years. I was in
yeah.
a band and I was addicted to music.
right. I was addicted to volunteering at one point.
And that's a good addiction.
Yeah.
People that say, you know what, I have got to give back.
Mhm.
So I have got to be a part of some nonprofits
Mhm.
and volunteer sometime either from home
Mhm.
or physically at an office.
Mhm.
It becomes an addiction, and that's a good addiction.
It
So
is.
yeah,
It is.
there's good addictions and there's bad addictions.
We're missing a lot. We've got to be missing a lot more.
Oh, there probably are. Drop us a line, let us know. But I mean, one addiction that we hope everybody will have is an addiction to opposite Saxes, and saying, I am so addicted to that show. I have to be there at 1:00 every Thursday afternoon,
Oh, I hope so.
just to see what those two addicts are talking about.
Oh, I'm glad you said addicts. I thought you were going to say something else.
No, because we are addicted to this show, and we're glad that you spent some time with us too. So thanks for being addicted to us.
Well, we'll be back.
We'll be back next week, same time, same place. I don't know what we'll be addicted to, but join us and find out. Okay, go out and make it a good one.
Thanks. Bye.